and welcome to Rank Masters, the only podcast on the internet. End of sentence.
End of sentence.
How many times have I made that joke? I swear.
I don't know. It's been a couple times.
That's kind of the default one I have. Anyway, we're obviously not the only podcast on the internet, but we are the only podcast on the internet run by two white people. So,
right. Again, a joke we've made before, but still a good joke.
It's a good one. I like that one a lot. But yes, we are the Rank Masters. We are the critics of internet list. And today, Trace, how are you doing today? Oh, wait, I didn't say our names. Hi, I'm Seth.
And I'm Trace. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Trace. I've never met you before in my life. This is the first time that we've ever had a conversation today. And
exactly.
Now we're forced to look over random lists that you don't even know about because I've kept this one secret because I didn't know about it till 5 minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, one of these days, I'm telling you, we're just going to abandon it and just not have a list. It's just going to be a just chatting stream. Honestly, it really is.
It's just chatting podcast.
That's
kind of what we do here anyway. It's an excuse for us to catch up.
Yeah.
To tell funny little stories, to make each other laugh. Mm-hmm. And also, sometimes we learn a few things from the lists that we procure from the internet. But
that's true. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just fun.
I do think that this list in particular might be one of those where we learn a decent amount, actually, because this one is from livescience.com. This is a science-focused list. And I forgot that I put this on the list already, and I happened to just discover it separately on my own terms, which is funny.
Beautiful.
But this list today, we're going to be talking about the top 20 inventions throughout history. So the top 20 just things.
Is the cotton gin going to be on here?
Well, let's find out, Trace.
What was it with like a middle school history to be so obsessed with the cotton gin?
I don't know. I don't know. You told me about that before.
Who invented it? Eli Whitney?
Oh,
does that name ring a bell?
Do I look like someone who paid attention in history classes?
I don't know. I hated my middle school history teacher.
Same.
I thought he was such a dick. Well, okay, I didn't hate him later on, but I hated him as a teacher so much because he was like one of those teachers that tried to be your friend. And I have mental illnesses that make me want to actually learn. So Don't be my friend. I'm here to learn, not be your pal, bud. Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I like teachers who are actually good teachers and friendly. But if their goal is more focused on being your friend than actually teaching something, then they're not a teacher. They're coach.
Literally, I loved him as a coach. So
that's exactly the case. Yeah,
because he was the baseball coach, and I didn't play baseball. I am too heterosexual. I'm too homosexual for that. But
baseball's pretty common for gay people, actually.
Yeah, actually,
yeah,
kind of is.
Yeah,
but
baseball.
What I liked about baseball at my school is we didn't have a softball program, so some of the girls would also play baseball, so it was like
nice. Yeah.
I had friends there. But also I mean, a lot of the baseball boys I got along with because it was a small school. You were forced to get along with everyone.
That's true.
But yeah, I was their announcer, their statistician, and also their bat boy.
Hey, well, I like statisticians in sports. I think that's such a fun role that people don't think about is the people who just crunch the numbers and come up with graphs and shit.
Go ahead. That wasn't what I was doing. I was just keeping stats.
Oh, okay.
So literally, I don't know if you've ever been to a baseball game and they have those people with those big old books that you mark everything that happens in every single instance of the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think you call them plays in baseball. It's been a while, people. All right.
And this is the statistician and announcer.
Yeah, it's been a while. Okay. I don't think you would call it a play, but every instance. So every time someone is at bat, there's a different section that you have to fill out, and you denote, what type of hit was it? What base did he get onto? Was he out? Or all of these things, you just mark every single time someone is up for bat. And oh my god, the system that they've created in place to make it easy to just denote these things so quickly, it's actually very interesting.
Yeah.
But I never did any numbers crunching. I just hand them off to the coach and I'd be like, here's what happened, and he'd be like, all right, looks like Jimmy has a really bad batting average.
Jimmy fucked up. Oh my god, Jimmy, shut the hell. Okay, yeah. I like the statistician side of things because I don't know if I ever told you that. Well, I might have told you this, but I used to be one of the graph guys for Grand Pooh Bear. And Grand Pooh Bear, he was doing a bunch of like big challenges. I think he did Iron Mon at one point in time, which you're familiar with because you're a Pokemon fan. But he also did something similar for Mario Maker called Iron Bros, where he had to like beat 50 levels in one life. And I would keep track of every time he would have to die and restart the challenge. I'd keep track of like what type of level it is, how long that run lasted, how many levels he successfully beat, and I would like come up with fun graphs at the end of each video. It was very silly, and the community didn't care for it, but it made me happy.
The community didn't care for it.
I mean, they really didn't. No one, like, some people like numbers and crunching graphs and stuff, but very few people. Oh my god, your camera just got a lot brighter. Shout out to the audio people who can't see.
Orange.
Yeah. It's so weird. It's so funny.
I guess the sun will come out
tomorrow. All right, that's been enough stalling. Should we actually get into the list? Because I don't think baseball is on this list. Nor is Grand Pooh Bear's Iron Bros challenge.
Well, it should be.
It should be.
Yeah, a 20 item list. We should probably get into it. What is?
So I'm you said that like you're about to like say something, but no. And then
I know, but I shut up.
That's the problem with doing this over the internet instead of in person. Is it's a lot harder to tell when we're accidentally interrupting someone. So yeah,
I know.
All right, number 20 on this list, according to Live Science, the 20th greatest invention of human history is the X-ray. And like many famous inventions, the X-ray was discovered by accident. Which, let me tell you, hearing that kind of scares me.
What were we doing? Were we just like, let's blast someone with some radiation, see what happens? Like, what were we?
So, yes, pretty much.
Okay. Please regale me with the story.
Yeah, so it says in 1895, I almost mixed those numbers up, and I think they invented it a little bit before 1985. 1895, German engineer and physicist Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen, sure, that's how that's pronounced, was undertaking a 2-month study into the potential of radiation. In experimental testing whether cathode rays could pass through glass, he noticed that the radiation was able to pass through screens of considerable thickness, leaving a shadow of solid objects. He soon discovered that they could pass through human tissues and show a clear picture of the skeleton. A year later, they took the earliest X-rays on patients. They're like, wait a minute, X-rays do some weird shit, and then they made it a medical thing.
That's nice. I mean, yeah. I'm glad that X-rays exist because I don't want people to be cutting into my body just to see if something's broken or not. Oh my god,
yeah.
I don't know if that's how they did it in the ancient times or whatever, but like, yeah.
I'm sure it was a lot harder to diagnose a broken bone when you can't see the bone. Like, obviously, if it's one of those bones that like sticks out of the skin, that one's clear. Or like if you can do the floppy thing, like yeah. But like, and also like X-ray helps you look at organs too. Like it's not just bones. Like X-ray's pretty good. X-ray definitely deserves to be on here. That's a really useful invention.
Have you ever been X-rayed?
Many times, yes. I do have a dentist.
Oh, that's boring. What about like X-rayed in other parts of your body?
Oh yeah, remember when I thought I broke my finger?
No. I don't actually remember that.
Okay, yeah, there was a solid I think during the entire last semester that I had at my university, this was when I was door dashing, and during one delivery I tripped and slammed my hand into the side of my car directly on one finger. And I pressed in on it and I was unable to bend my finger.
Yeah, so you jammed your finger. Yeah.
No. It was so much worse. So I thought it was just jammed. Apparently, I tore the muscle off of my bone. So the muscle legitimately just stopped functioning for a while, and it took me the entirety of that final semester in a fucking cast that was intentionally bending my finger to gain capacity to bend my finger again. And the doctor who looked at me was like, holy shit, how is this not broken? I'm very impressed that it just ripped the muscle off of the bone. Like, that's such a weirdly precise injury to have. I don't remember the name of it. It was some weird, like, almost a sports term It felt like a sports
almost
term.
A sports term.
It felt like a sport. The name that she gave it felt like a sports term, but I don't remember what it's called. I don't know. Someone will look it up. Basketballitis. No, yeah, honestly. But yeah, it was very strange, and I think that was the closest. Like they did tons of X-rays. They it's not broken. Clearly, why can't you bend it? Because the X-ray can't see bone, or it can't see bone. It can't see muscle. So
you've never broken a bone.
I'm in the Never Broken a Bone Club. I drink too much milk.
Me too, girl. Like,
hell yeah.
You and I both drink way too much milk to be breaking bones. That's
we
fucking
really do drink a lot.
Fool's behavior.
You and I fucking love milk. It would suck if either of us became lactose intolerant.
Yeah,
as is human nature.
Yeah, as is human nature. Sometimes I feel like I do. Sometimes because like my tummy will get a little upset, but then I'm like, but I also ate other things today, so it can't be the milk.
Mm-hmm. Gotta find some sort of excuse. It's not milk. Exactly. It's something else.
I will not be one of those people who get lactose intolerant in my tunnies. My tennies.
You tennies.
I will not get lactose intolerant in my 20s like other people, all right? I refuse to let that happen.
I refuse! Yeah, I'm with it. I mean, I like ice cream too much. I like milk too much. I'm definitely... I think I might have like a slight pork allergy because every time I eat like ham or sausage in particular destroys my insides, and I don't know why. But also it tastes good, so fuck it, I deal with it.
Well, do you have like other greasy foods that maybe make you sick? Because I know some people like have like really low grease intolerances.
I pretty much everything I eat is greasy.
Wow.
Trace, my diet is not good. You should know that by now.
I don't know what your diet is. Literally the only time I see you is when I'm with you, and that's when we go to get like Hawaiian Bros or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, that's my diet pretty much. Whenever I mean, just going out to eat shitty like food that's not healthy for you. It tastes great, but it's not healthy. Like Hawaiian Bros is not healthy. Let's be real here.
No, it's not. It's got rice.
Yeah. Look. Oh yeah. Let's stop there. The 19th greatest invention, rice. Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, what is the 19th greatest invention, please?
19th greatest invention, you might also agree with, is vaccines.
Oh, that's nice. We are pro-vaccine on this podcast.
Yeah. Shout out to my mom, the nurse, who thinks that I'm autistic because of vaccine damage.
Wasn't that true? I'm sorry, was your autism not because of vaccines?
No. It
specifically the polio MMR one, right?
MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella. That's the one that started the whole anti-vax. Okay. You didn't see the H-Bomber guy video, Trace? Come on. No,
I mean, I did. I'm just saying, like, you know, maybe it was the polio one, but yeah, the MMR, yeah, that one gave me autism too.
Yeah. It's
no,
amazing.
wait. You had the MMR vaccine?
I have no clue. My mom has refused to give me a list of all the vaccines I've had.
How'd you get into college?
I don't know. Good fucking question.
I was like, I think I had to provide those when I went to college.
She could have provided them to the college, but I was not provided them. I don't even have my birth certificates. Like my parents, I don't have.
Are you adopted?
Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of things about like my history and my life growing up that I'm like, there's some secrecy surrounding it, and I don't know why there would be unless there was something shady going on. So I'm like, I'm kind of sus, but also who cares?
But have I told you about? Oh my God, I'm like basking in the light of God at the moment.
I just started watching Good Omens. I'm like, God is summoning you.
I literally, whatever. We're gonna have to deal with it, video people. But have I told you about how I don't know who my grandma's father is?
No. I also don't know who my mom's father is.
Oh wow. Okay. You can tell your story next.
No, I don't really have much of a story, but go ahead, tell yours.
Oh, okay. So it's because like my grandma's entire life, she thought one person was her father. Mm-hmm. And like her mom would say, yeah, he's your father. You know, you are a insert last name. I'm not going to give you my grandma's maiden name. I'm gonna
say that your grandma's maiden name was Rode because that's the thing that's your microphone pop filter. It says Rode.
Okay, so for her entire life she thought she was a Rode, right? Yeah. Like she was like, from okay, Rode. I am a Rode, and.
Okay, that's funny, right?
It was
I'm
funny.
Sorry.
Okay, but I'm trying to tell a story here. Be serious.
Yeah, I'll be
okay. So her entire life, she's like, oh, I'm a road. My dad is a road. That like my mom is saying I'm a road. And then one day, she's like, I need my birth certificate for something. I think she was like trying to get her marriage license or I don't know, something that you need your birth certificate for, like multiple forms of identification for. And her mom refused to give her birth certificate. She's like, well, it was lost in the house fire. And then my grandma was like, okay, then why don't we order a new one? And she's like,
you can't
it's
get
just
a copy.
I was like, oh, we just don't have the stuff to get a copy and whatnot. And so finally, my grandma just took it in her own hands to go and get her own birth certificate with one of her cousins. And this was back in the time before computers, so like they had to call ahead. And then they had to go and pick it up by hand.
We love the government processes.
And she was born in Texas, so they had to drive to Texas. I'm from Colorado. She was in Colorado, whatever. Yeah. So they had to drive to Texas to go and get this birth certificate. And when they got there, on her birth certificate, her name is Shore, right? Her last name is she's a Shore microphone.
That's another microphone company. I had to like, I'm like, what's the joke here? Okay, it's another mic. Gotcha.
Yeah. And she's like, wait, what? So she takes it back to my grandma and she was like, I got my birth certificate. It says here that I'm a Shore, like my last name is Shore, and this man's name here that's listed as my father is whatever Shore. Like, what is this about? And my grandma was like, you got the wrong birth certificate. That's not yours. Like, blah, 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 blah. Come to find out, so my grandpa, that my grandma was convinced was her dad, went to war. And my grandma got a letter back saying he was missing in action.
Oh.
So my grandma moved on. Got a whole new boyfriend, was about to start a life, and then all of a sudden, my grandpa shows back up at the door.
Oh, I see.
But he has mental damage from being shot in the fucking head.
Yeah,
so my great grandma felt sorry for him, decided to go back to him, and then raised her daughter the same. But the problem is,
her daughter was with the other person that she'd moved on to.
We don't know.
Oh,
because there's the timeline of when my grandma was born. It could have been my regular, like the one that I think is my grandpa, or it could be this random Shore guy. The timeline works for both of them.
That's
so we
crazy.
do not know.
That's crazy. Okay, that is a really cool story. Holy shit.
Yeah. So I could be a road or a shore. I'm not sure.
Okay, so you're road.
Right.
Because you said you're not sure.
I know. I didn't like the way it sounded. But yeah, I don't know. Like I've done a DNA test and like neither of them pop up. So I'm like, oh, I guess that's fine.
Yeah, what did that DNA test say? It was like what, 90%
90% white man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like ancestors mayonnaise. Yeah. No. Like I'm talking about like because I did 23andMe, I think. I know, whatever.
Ew.
I'm
Ew, mayonnaise.
Categorized in the fucking state. I don't care. I'm a genealogy nerd. I
don't give a shit about people knowing who I am. I mean, the government already has all their information.
If I commit a crime, they're gonna find me anyway, okay?
Yeah. Internet piracy.
But yeah, I really hoped that when I did that, I'd find out like some random cousin would pop up and it'd be like, oh, this cousin's a Shore or this cousin's a road or whatever.
Nothing.
Neither one of them popped up. So I'm just waiting for the day when one of them does so I can finally confirm who my great grandpa was.
All right. That's interesting. That's kind of scary, but interesting. I wonder if you have access to that Shore, like who that person was, that random Shore person, and would be able to like track them down. Like even if you
he's dead.
I know, but like track down like what their family was outside of that. Like if they had
my grandma tried.
Nothing.
So nothing. She tried to find them. She did end up finding like some of his other children, but they refused to take any DNA tests. They're like, no, we don't think our father had a child with someone else. We don't want to do this. We don't want to be involved.
I see.
So she just couldn't.
I understand. That's a little tricky.
It sucks.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes people don't want that information. They don't want to be confronted with potential scary truths. And I get it. I get it.
Well, that's like, I remember one time someone came to our house and was like, your father is my illegitimate father.
Oh, no.
We never confirmed it. I just remember that this happened.
Oh, no.
And considering who my father is,
possibly.
She probably was. Like, there probably was some relation there. I'm just saying. Like,
that's wild. That's wild.
I don't put it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh my God, powerful. Well,
so what's number 18?
Well, speaking of scary and convenient truths, number 18 is nuclear energy.
Okay, this is fine. This is something that I think I said last time I have uranium glass in my house.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the last episode or one of the most recent ones, but you've said it before. I think a few times.
Shout out Kenji, my friend, who I made hold the glass. Then was like, yeah, that's uranium. And he was like, I'm going to put this down now. Like,
that's wise. Good job, Kenji. Proud of you.
I was like, it's not that bad, all right? Like, they barely put they put it enough in there to make it glow in blacklight. It's like, it's not that bad. But I think that nuclear power may be our best bet forward. And I think we need to stop being so scared of it.
I think that it is a solid step forward, but I don't know if it's the best. I think it's a great way away from all the energy production methods we have so far. I'm not sure.
It's a liquid foundation. It's a liquid step forward.
You are right. Oh my God. I forgot. I took a tour of a nuclear power plant one time because when I was looking at like a bunch of different colleges. One of the colleges that I was looking at had a nuclear energy plant on campus, which really fucking cool. But B, like they were doing like some sort of I just punched it. I'm sorry. They were doing some sort of like open house thing, and we got to like go inside the power plant, and, like tour it, and we could like look at the big old pool of not water, but like some other like liquid. And I'm like, it was really neat seeing how that all works. I'm like, I understand this. I like it. The world will always be scared of it. There is no way that we can stop that from happening.
Chernobyl really fucked us up.
Chernobyl really scared the shit out of a lot of people, and I don't think that humanity as a whole can emotionally recover from that. I
think we've recovered mostly from 9/11.
You say that, but honestly, there are still a lot of people who get like really upset if you make a 9/11 joke, and I don't know why.
And if that's you, I apologize.
Too long, and there's not even like, yes, it was a tragedy.
It's insensitive. But
there have been so many more like significantly worse tragedies that no one even knows about. I
don't want to diminish the dead of 9/11.
Yeah,
that tragedy is real and it affected many thousands of people.
It's been 20 years.
It's been 20 years.
It's been 20 years.
And when it's shoved into your face, I understand. Like, maybe I understand homophobia, because when something is shoved in your face for 20 years.
Oh my God, Trace.
You start to hate it.
Trace, what the fuck? Horrifying.
No, I don't condone homophobia. I want to make that very clear.
I think the biggest reason that our generation right now doesn't care as much about 9/11 as a lot of people seem to is because of the effect 9/11 had on the world as a whole. Like, I hate
9/11.
I hate that I have to take off my I hate that I have to take off my shoes when going to fucking fly somewhere. That's stupid.
See, my shoes aren't that bad. Like, the shoes aren't the thing I have the biggest deal with. It's belts.
Belts are also annoying, yeah. I don't wear belts anymore, specifically because of TSA.
Just on the random chance that you have to go on a flight somewhere. You're like, I'm not going to wear a belt.
My dad is a pilot, and so is my brother.
But you don't have to go through TSA to get on those type of flights.
No, but they like to take flights, like commercial flights all the time anyway. Like, we'll often take like a commercial flight out just so he could like demo a plane elsewhere, which I think is really funny.
That's hilarious because my stepdad does the exact same thing. He was also a pilot. He will do the exact same thing.
Pilots, they're a different breed. Like, we always talk about like motorcycle culture. Pilot culture is different, though.
It's
wild. It's like, crazy.
Like, oh, there's this new plane in Omaha, Nebraska that I kind of want to check out. Really? Yep. I'm gonna fly there.
Yeah, that's how it's crazy. Pilots are wild, and I have mad respect for them That shit's expensive too. Good lord.
Nothing compared to furries, though.
Nothing compared to furries. I don't know. I feel like airplane gasoline is more expensive than a fursuit.
Number 16 invention, fursuit.
So, what? So you joke about that?
No, wait. That can't be true.
So the nuclear energy was 18. Do you want me to tell you what 16 is? Because it is really funny.
No,
we'll come back to 17, but given the context of this conversation, I kind of want to tell you what 16 is.
Okay, what is 16?
It's the airplane.
Oh, fuck. Okay. That's fine.
That's really funny.
Hey, here's a weird question. Aren't there like 2 states that have like the land of airplanes or whatever, like on their license plate, like the birth of airplanes or something, or the birth of air travel?
I remember hearing that, and I remember that they had beef. But I don't remember.
They have beef. I literally only know this from a Scott Kramer video where he was rating the license plates.
I watched the same one. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Ohio and North Carolina. That's what it is. Ohio says it's the birthplace of aviation, but North Carolina is first in flight. Why does Ohio? Okay, so North Carolina is where the Wright Bros were. Why does Ohio get a claim though? Hold on, I'm doing this deep dive. Hold on.
Can I throw something else into the ring? Like,
no.
I've been to Wichita a few times. That's the air capital city of the world, apparently.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like it. That airport is kind of small.
Well, yeah, right, but it's because they make so many airplanes. Like, if you've ridden on enough airplanes, chances are a good portion of them were made in Wichita, Kansas.
Fair.
But like, you'll go to a gas station there. What?
Go ahead. I just found out why the issue exists.
I was like, you'll go to a gas station there, and there'll be like a million different airplane keychains. Like, I was like, why Wichita? I think the 3 should duke it out. Anyway, what did you figure out? What did you find?
So I found out the Wright Bros invented the airplane in North Carolina, but they were born in Ohio. The Wright Bros were from Dayton, Ohio. So Ohio claiming to be the birthplace of aviation is technically correct. But North Carolina being the first in flight is also correct.
So Ohio's so fucking boring that they're like, they didn't discover it here. No.
But they were born here.
But they didn't discover it here.
I guess that makes sense because like every state.
Well, isn't Illinois land of Lincoln?
There. Is it?
Like Illinois land of Lincoln, right?
I'm gonna be honest. I know jack shit about the states. I have no knowledge about any of the states.
Well, that's because Abraham Lincoln was born in Springfield, Illinois.
Fair. Good for him, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Didn't we have a president who was born in Kansas? Eisenhower?
Yeah, Dwight D. Eisenhower, and I remember getting that shoved down our throat every fucking year on Eisenhower Day.
Oh, I did. I'm from Colorado. We never got a
president. I know. Lucky you.
But then I came to college here, like in Kansas, and everyone's like, "Oh, you have to go to the presidential library, the Dwight D. Eisenhower Library." Blah 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 blah.
No, don't do it. Don't give a shit about Eisenhower. I don't even think anything Eisenhower did was like that important to me.
Well, his name's fucking Dwight. Like, if your name's Dwight,
yeah,
I don't like you. Like Dwight. Get a real name.
Office fans are with you.
I've never watched The Office in my life, but
good. Based. Correct. Good answer.
Okay, what's 17?
Because we skipped 17. Number 17 is the refrigerator. Trace at the refrigerator. Trace is the refrigerator.
I think we should salt our meats and throw them in a cool river like our ancestors of the past.
I understand, yeah. I
understand those are 2 different methods. You don't salt it and then throw it in the river. You either salt it and put it in a cellar, or you put it in a little bag and throw it in a cool river.
Yeah.
I think we should go back to that method. I think refrigerators have made us weak and dependent on technology.
Yeah, now I get scared when my ham is slimy. Ugh.
Right? Like, I think we should go back to just eating mostly dried meats and jerky. So.
Yeah. Honestly, dried meat is great. I do like dried meat, but I also I appreciate a nice slice of deli meat too. Deli rules.
One time I opened a Lunchables and the ham was slimy and I got really upset.
Yeah, but so if ham goes slimy, doesn't that indicate that it's gone bad? Like it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was upset because my ham was bad. So I was like, well,
fuck your ham. Yeah, it sucks. It makes me sad. Ham goes bad really quickly too.
I was like, I spent $4 fucking on this Lunchable, and 1/3 of it is bad.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. We've gone soft.
We really have gone soft. Anywho,
what's 15?
Number 15. Let's bump up a little bit. So 16 was Airplane, as previously mentioned. 15. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what this is. It's the Marine Chronometer.
Marine Chronometer, fake name.
Fake name. No.
What does it say?
So it says the 15th century marked the beginning of the great voyages of discovery by adventurers and sea merchants and the development of a global ocean trade network. Trading vessels carried high-priced silk. Yes, we know what trading vessels did. But after the loss of 4 ships at sea in the Sicily naval disaster of 1707. The Sicily naval disaster of 1707?
That sounds more interesting than whatever the fuck this is.
That is. But apparently, okay, after that, seafarers realized that they needed an accurate way to determine longitude when out of sight of land. So it's basically just a way for them to
look at the stars.
I mean, yeah.
It's the damn refrigerators. They made us weak. We can no longer look at the stars and know where we are.
Oh, okay. So this is basically, it's a clock. It's a timekeeping device that's powered by the rocking motion of the ship instead of by gravity, and therefore it's a way to accurately calculate longitude at sea. That's kind of odd, but also kind of cool. I guess it makes sense that you wouldn't want to be reliant on gravity because the ship sways so much. Neat.
Do regular clocks?
Yeah, right.
Gravity.
Regular clocks at that time did. That's what a grandfather clock is. A grandfather clock is basically just a metronome.
Well, yeah, but like I'm pretty sure they had stopwatches at that time.
In 1714?
Well, not stopwatches, pocket watches.
No. Oh, no, 1714 was still in the era where like there were very few clocks. Like that's why Big Ben existed. So you could like the only way to know where time is because you had to like look and see the giant clocks in the sky. And I remember, I think it was like the 1750s when there was a lady in Britain who started to sell time. Because she would...
Pocket watch invented in 1510.
Really?
Yep.
Well, who was the lady who tried to sell time? Hold on.
To sell time?
Yeah.
Bitch, that's clever.
No,
get your bag. What?
Yeah. Okay, so legitimately, it was like kind of half a scam. But every morning she would go up to Big Ben. She would resync her pocket watch because she was one of the few people who had it, and she would go out throughout the day. And she's like, "Yeah, if you want to know the most accurate time, as according to that Big Ben, I've sunk my watch up to it. I can tell you exactly what it is for 1 pence. I don't fucking know British money. I don't know."
We love women in STEM.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was kind of based. It was cool. I remember watching a Citation Needed video on it, and that's how I found out about it. But like, that was a cool episode. Shout out to Citation Needed. That was a good series, and it ended.
Yeah, I think they need more citations.
Yeah, you're right. Chase, have I forced you to watch an episode of that? I feel like I have.
You have.
Yeah, it's the yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the fuck. What's his name?
Tom Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's his thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that show and 2 of those people are lying. I'm like, those were some fun shows. I do like that.
Good shows.
Number 14. Batteries.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. It says the first
Have you
battery
ever licked
dates
a
back
battery?
to Trace?
Have you ever licked a battery?
Have you?
Have you?
I don't actually know. I don't know. I put a lot of things in my mouth as a kid. Again, the autistic urge to do that. I mean, I told you about how I ate my lunch card multiple times.
MMRs.
By the way, okay, my roommate recently got a new job and she gave me like a discount card, but I already had a discount card for that company, but hers is better. So I immediately put hers on my keychain, took the old one off my keychain and put it right in my mouth. I'm like, I'm gonna chew on it for the rest of the day.
So the way that you said it, and I immediately ate, I immediately ate it.
It was really funny.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't remember if I ever put a battery in my mouth. That doesn't seem like something I would do. I feel like that would have hurt.
You ever lick a battery to just feel alive? Me at 7 years old.
I know some people who have like those metal nose rings who put a battery up to the nose ring just to feel it. And I'm like, shout outs, I guess, but holy shit.
One time I was putting up Christmas lights because I love Christmas. All right.
Yeah,
Girlies,
Christmas is based.
It is Christmas season. I know that it's stressful time for a lot of people, but for me, I just love Christmas. I love twinkling little lights. One time I was putting up Christmas lights and I was running my hand along the cord to put these Christmas lights on our bushes.
Yeah.
And one of the wires was exposed and I electrocuted myself.
No! Trace, don't do that!
So I know what it feels like to get electrocuted. And I was like, what? That was before I moved during middle school, so I would have had to have been in elementary when that happened.
Terrifying.
And yeah, it fucking sucked. Literally, like, forced me onto my ass. Like, I was standing, like, going through this, and like my hand goes across this exposed wire as it's plugged in.
Trace.
Obviously, that's why I got electrocuted, and I literally like all of the muscle in my body just gave out, and I just fell on the floor.
Being electrocuted is such it's a unique experience, and I feel like not enough people take it seriously because it's
very
stings.
serious.
Yeah. And
thank God I didn't have a pacemaker in my 10-year-old body.
And now I think that's why electrostim is such a popular kink.
I mean, there are people who put like shock collars on, and
true,
it's dangerous. Like, I understand the kink to want to put a shock collar on.
That's not what I mean.
I know that's not what you mean, but shock collars specifically have a very direct danger link because if it hits, like, I can't remember exactly what it is. Like, it can literally cause like an instant seizure or something. I can't remember exactly what all the details are. Like, look into it a little bit more. Play safe. Play responsibly.
Okay. I had these because when you said you love Christmas, I have like 2 Christmas scented, like shimmering snowberry and merry memories like scent things.
What do merry memories smell like?
Spiced pear.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't realize that's what a memory smelled like.
And then shimmering snowberry, it says it's candied fruit, but these both like they smell very wintry, like winter baked goods.
It's so great that I can't smell.
I mean, hey, I'll just like really cook. Next time you come visit me, I'll like really make it heavy on the room.
Like, you'll grab my nostril and like spray it up there. Get the last little hair follicles in my nose you can get.
Yeah. Well, I was going to bring that up when you said that you love Christmas, but now I want to bring up a fact because I have a lot of friends who love VR, right? Like VR chat and all that jazz. And I have 2 friends who are long distance dating, and one of them has a Bluetooth shock collar.
That's cussing. Yeah.
So often you see them in VR, and the one who has control over that long distance of the Bluetooth shock collar is like, hey, watch this. And then you see him like move his hand a little bit, and you see the other guy just fucking fold and fall onto the ground. I'm like, it's kind of funny. Awesome.
Maybe they should stop that. Like,
yeah, I do think it's dangerous, but
get a hush and stay. Like
yeah, honestly,
safer ways to play.
Yeah,
safer ways to play. What's next on the list?
Next on the list, number 13, because we're out here. It's like 37 minutes on this episode, so we're coming up on it. But number 13,
it's all right. We put out a short episode last week. We can go a little long.
That's true. By short, it was 59 minutes. We were almost at the hour minute mark. But number 13 is the magnifying glass.
Right. The greatest terror to ant kind.
Honestly, true. Why did kids? Why were we jerks?
I didn't know you could do that until I was an adult. So I feel like I was like destroyed. Okay. This is going to be bad. People who
people who cannot
handle like animal, like hurt animal stuff, maybe skip ahead like 5 minutes.
Holy shit. 5 minutes? How long is the story going to take?
Maybe not 5 minutes, but okay. So I didn't have the ability to destroy ants. But my grandma always thought it was very funny to put like smaller animals on anthills. The same grandma that didn't have a dad. I mean, I think it shows, but like she, like, do you know what a horny toad is?
Trace.
Like a horny toad. You know what a horny toad is?
Yeah, it's when Toad and from Mario Wonder gets the elephant power.
No. The horny toad. Like, but you know what a horny toad is, right?
I've heard of a horned toad. Is that different?
Like a horned lizard, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, horny toad. Yeah.
I've okay, fair. Go ahead.
They are not horny, and I guess they have spikes.
Yeah.
But and they are not toads, but they're called horny toads.
I've only ever heard them referred to as horned lizards, so whoever called them horny toads lied to you, Trace.
No, it's a horny toad.
I've only ever heard them be referred to as a horned lizard.
Yeah, you're also from Florida?
That's true.
So...
And Kansas. I'm from Florida and Kansas. I feel like I had an equal amount of upbringing in each state. Probably more in Kansas, actually, now that I think about it, because I came back to Kansas at the age of 8, and I don't really have many memories from Florida. I remember Busch Gardens, and that's about it.
Every white couple that goes to Florida.
I mean, you're right. I love amusement parks. I fucking oh my god. My work is doing a giveaway for an amusement park that's nearby, and I was like really hoping that I won it, and I didn't. It made me sad. It would have been 4 tickets. I could have taken you. It's one that I know you've been to, but I'm like, I would have loved to go again. Yeah.
Nice.
Silver Dollar City.
Yep. Okay, Silver Dollar, like...
Silver Dollar City's great, actually. I love Silver Dollar City. Because it was more nice. Than just the rides. You know? It's the shops, it's the shows, it's the
walk from the parking lot.
Yeah, the parking lot's so goddamn far away.
It's torturous. It's also literally in the mountains. So, like, you are walking up steep fucking hills.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's why they have buses to take you to and from the parking lot, Trace.
But even sometimes... you have to park far away from the fucking place that the bus picks you up.
That's true. Yeah, you are right.
Anyway, my grandma used to put horny toads on anthills.
Oh, that's horrifying.
It's very horrifying.
That's horrifying.
What's next?
That sounds so painful. All right, up next, I guess. And that's from talking about the magnifying glass. We didn't even talk about it at all, just aside from a way to torture ants. But number 12, concrete.
Concrete.
Invented in ancient Rome.
Fuck yeah, some concrete.
Or maybe earlier. We don't actually know when concrete came into existence. We know that ancient Romans are commonly thought of as the first people to do it. And we do know, I found out recently from a SciShow video that apparently ancient Rome had concrete that's stronger than any concrete that we're able to make today. Solely because of how they used sea salt, and we don't know the recipe, which I think is really funny. But apparently Egyptians had concrete. Interesting.
Fuck yeah, concrete.
Concrete. You can conk my crete. No.
So have you seen the thing on TikTok that's
ask your boyfriend how often he thinks about
the Roman Empire? And I'm like, man, I never think about ancient Rome that much. It's not really one of my special little interest categories. The Greeks, sure. Egyptians, a whole lot. I think about the Egyptians a whole lot.
I do think that the ancient Greek mythology and ancient Greek culture was much more interesting than Romans, because the Romans were really just war for the most part, you know?
Which is why the heterosexual male is so...
That's true. That's true. You're right. But don't get me wrong, Greeks had a lot of war too, but it wasn't the core part of their identity.
And so did the Egyptians, but whatever. It wasn't
whatever.
It's not the interesting part.
Yeah.
But I was they're fucking they gotta be, they're just joshing it. But I went to a school board forum and I sat down next to 2 of my heterosexual male coworkers. And I'm not listening to what they're saying at all. But when I finally tune into the conversation, do you know what they're fucking talking about?
The Roman Empire?
The Roman Empire. And I had to be oh my God.
Do you think it was because of the TikTok, or do you think that would have just naturally happened anyway?
No, because they were talking about Roman democracy, because we were at a school board forum for a school board election.
Oh, I see.
And I'm this is what you guys are thinking about right now, is the Roman version of democracy?
Yeah, for some reason, I know a lot of American politicians and school people are just obsessed with Rome, because for some reason, that was the height of Western civilization, was the Roman Empire, and we need to emulate them in every way possible. And I'm no.
Fascism.
That's what it was. That is exactly what it is. And I don't know why there's this obsession with it. It's very strange. Anyway, should we move on?
Yeah.
Number 11. Use of fire. Which I don't think that counts as an invention.
I don't think that counts.
But
I'll give it to you. I too go every time I set something on fire.
I mean, me making s'mores.
Yeah, literally, I instantly revert back into a caveman anytime there's fire, so I get it.
I fully understand. It's great. Thank you, Prometheus. Was that Prometheus? I think that was Prometheus, right?
Yeah, Prometheus. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Again.
Shout out Prometheus, my boy.
I think about Greeks all the time.
Yeah. Lovely guy. You should meet his wife sometime.
Yeah. It does look like, okay, so it seems like there's been some archaeology discoveries to say that Israel might have had the earliest evidence of hominin usage of fire as late as 2 million years ago, which I'm like, that's pretty cool.
I assume it's somewhere in like the Fertile Crescent. Like,
yeah.
I don't think it's a little farther east, isn't it? But like, it's somewhere around there.
Like, who knows? In that general Egyptian Mesopotamia section of the world,
the Middle East was like just booming with people.
It's almost like that's the birthplace of humanity or something. Who would have ever guessed? Wow.
Who would call it that?
Who knows? I've got no clue. Anyway, number 10.
Yeah.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Nails.
Oh,
I just think this is like, really
nails?
funny. Yeah,
we was like on my hand.
We weren't actually born with these. No, the things that you hammer.
Okay, I mean, I could get that. Have you seen A Goat Story, or at least heard of A Goat Story, the movie?
No.
Where like there's a man who's in love with a big-titted woman, and like, but the goat is jealous.
I was worried you were going to say there's a man who's in love with a big-titted goat, and I'm like, Trace, where are you going with this?
There is a
where are you going with a goat?
There's a love triangle with a man, a big-titted woman, and a goat.
Why?
I don't know. It's from Czechoslovakia.
Understandable. No, actually, no, that's not understandable. Why? No.
Anyway, so there's a scene in that movie where the big-titted woman shakes a bunch of nails out of her boobs. And like, it lives rent-free in my head. Every time I go to hammer something in, I always go, ooh.
A Goat Story nail scene. Merriman. Oh, it's animated. Oh.
It is animated. It's supposed to be a kid's movie. Oh, yeah, it's not good animation at all.
This is horrifying. Oh, I hate this. Why is this popular on TikTok?
Because it's funny.
You're right. That does seem funny. Yeah. Nails, again, this key invention dates back more than 2,000 years to the ancient Roman period.
They made a metal rod and slammed it into some wood.
Same. But it does note how, like, previously wood structures had to be built by interlocking adjacent boards geometrically, which is hard. And apparently just shoving metal in things is a little easier. Who knew?
Right.
Who would have ever guessed?
Now we glue things because we're weak because of the refrigerators.
I mean, my refrigerator is built by glue. I don't see a single fucking nail. Pathetic. Weakness. I swear, if the screw also shows up on this list, I'm going to shit myself.
I want the cotton gin.
All right. Well, speaking of weakness, number 9, another invention that has made us weak and worse as human beings. The internet.
That's true. I don't think there's been a single good thing that's come from the internet.
I do think that the internet is both among the top 10 inventions and also one of the worst things humanity has ever made.
It actively contributes to the downfall of our society.
I genuinely, yes. It's crazy. Like, the amount of people that have so many disorders and trauma because of the internet.
Like, not to let my inner boomer out, but really, I do think that my mental illness would be better if I didn't have the internet.
Oh, yeah, I fully agree with you there. I don't think I would have had depression if it weren't for the internet. I don't think I would have I don't have anxiety anymore.
I don't think I would have autism if I didn't have the internet.
It's that damn 5G. The 5G wireless is poisoning our brains, Trace.
The
you
5G
can tell that
wireless.
because I definitely had autism. I didn't have it before 5G existed. No, yeah, totally.
No, see, that was like back when 2G was a thing. So like the 2G was just like, it was just kind of getting in there, but now we have mega autism.
Now we have mega autism. You're right.
All because of those chips that Bill Gates put into us through the COVID vaccines.
Good Lord.
We have mega autism.
It's crazy. But yeah, I will admit though, it is nice being able to stay in touch with you. You know?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the best thing that's come from the internet. Okay, 2 best things that have come from the internet is, 1, people are a lot more connected. So
that's true.
You are able to see like your friends and talk to them more.
Yes.
And then also it's a lot easier to organize against unjust systems.
So that's the second thing that I was going to bring up is that in addition to not having depression, I also probably would have been extremely racist and homophobic if it weren't for the internet. Like, if it weren't for me being able to connect with other queer people in the universe and know that other queer people were also, you know, people. Yeah, you get it.
Well, yeah, of course I get it. Like, because growing up where we did, we were it's a very isolating type of thing, and you just start to kind of absorb the ideas around you. And I'm not saying that racism is natural, that it's like a default state that all people fall into.
It's absolutely based on what you're subjected to.
Yeah.
And we were subjected to the Midwest Bible Belt.
Yeah, so, like, it was like an onslaught.
Yeah, it really was. And it wasn't until I started, A, questioning my own faith and sexuality, and B,
consuming so much fucking furry porn.
Yes, legitimately. Like, being able to connect with people who'd, like, made porn and be like, these are people. These aren't just, like...
These aren't
demons trying to drag me to hell for liking their things. They're just other people who've also been hated by me, basically, for all of my history. And I'm like, it's crazy. And I'm so glad that I grew up because of the internet. And also, I'm very glad that the two lesbians who harassed me on Instagram when I said that God doesn't love them kind of woke me up and made me realize, hey, I was 14, okay, Trace? I was 14! Uh-huh.
Okay.
Again, I don't really... I don't consider... I think my childhood years were like 12 through 16. I don't think I like started becoming... I don't think I started growing up until 16.
It's just so shocking sometimes. Like, we all grow up at our own levels.
I was
and
a horrible person. I used to be a really shitty person. And I'm so glad those two lesbians harassed me.
Shout out lesbians. Let's go lesbians.
I say harassed me, but honestly, I was harassing them. Let's be real here.
Right. Like, let's tell the truth here.
They clapped back. They knew what they were doing. They're like, yeah, this little kid is just this is a little... I would have played COD if my parents let me.
Sad.
If I weren't a Nintendo and arcade bitch, I would have playing COD.
I can't even say that because I had the opportunity to play COD and I was like, I don't like this.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm glad I missed that. Anyway, number 8 is contraceptives.
Nice. Shout out abortion.
Shout out abortion.
Shout out condoms.
Yeah.
Shout out Plan B. Like, you know, shout out.
Yeah. I do think it's very strange that this is like on this list of like mostly scientific things, but I guess like,
I mean, this is scientific.
It is incredibly scientific. Yeah. The amount of science that's gone into like inventing a condom out of something
people
that's
love to fuck
not cheap
animal guts.
Yeah. Yeah. That's still so weird to me. I can't imagine wrapping animal guts around my
Don't
dick.
they understand that you can just pull out at the last moment? You're telling me that our ancestors didn't know what pulling out was?
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
That's wild. Yeah. I'm so glad that we've reached a point in life where, like, no, you don't... If a married couple doesn't have to have 17 trillion kids, you know?
God,
because you can have sex and not have children.
Like,
which is nice.
Yeah. Thank God. All right. We don't need that many kids anymore. Okay.
For real.
Like, I think 1 child is sufficient. 2, if you don't want them to be a little spoiled.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And it's okay to have spoiled children. All right. Sometimes kids are spoiled. Okay. It just happens. And honestly, I'd rather have a spoiled child than a miserable child.
Exactly. You're right. And I do agree with you on that. I do think some single kids are spoiled, but like it's pretty, or not, are miserable.
Insufferable.
True. Both. Both. Correct.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, yeah, it was nice that kind of sparked that. The article says it sparked a sexual revolution in the developed world by allowing men and women to have sex for leisure rather than procreation. It let non-binary people have sex for pleasure too.
Just be gay.
Yeah, you're right. But it mainly talks about like the benefits of curving out like the growth of the global scale and how like our number is no longer continuing to increase, and it will probably stabilize by the end of the century. And also, I mean, STDs aren't as common as they used to be. Yay!
Like, okay, and again, like, overpopulation is a myth.
Yeah.
And also, like, we are currently having less children in the United States than we have adults. Yeah. So if we are having a population decrease, actually.
Yeah.
So
because we're killing off the old folks.
Yeah. Purposefully.
You know those memes about like how we should absolutely like we should have a purge once a year. I feel like we should, only to like
the old folks,
to kill off the politicians.
Oh, good. Okay, I was about to say, I was like, I don't think I agree with your ageism, but I agree with killing the politicians.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah,
fuck them and then kill them.
They get the pit.
The pit. I love it. Okay.
I think we should just create a giant hole, and every time a politician ends their term, they get thrown in the pit.
I think we should create a giant hole, and every time a politician, we should throw them in the pit.
Put the fear of God back in them.
If you make a decision, you have to know the risks. You gotta know the consequences, baby.
You gotta know the consequences. You have to really love your country to become a politician, because you're gonna go in the pit, all right?
All right. Number 7.
What's next?
The internal combustion engine. It's just an engine. It's just an engine. I do think engines are cool. I don't know.
I think engines ruined America.
Honestly. Well,
I mean, I like being able, obviously, I've traveled a whole bunch this year. I've been able to go to a lot of places, which has been really nice.
True, but imagine if you could do that by train instead of by car.
I would love to do it by train. And I didn't do it by car. I would by plane, and that sucks
planes
too.
Also
I don't
use
like
internal combustion engines.
I know, but planes fucking suck.
If we never invented the internal combustion engine, 9/11 wouldn't have happened.
I tried to add to it, but it was too good.
Thank you. I'm proud of that. And then we wouldn't have to take off our fucking shoes when we go through TSA.
Who invented the internal combustion engine? Does it say?
It does not give a name. It says, in these engines, the combustion of fuel releases high-temperature gas, which, as it expands, applies a force to a piston, moving it. Thus, combustion engines convert chemical energy into mechanical work. Decades of engineering by many scientists went into designing the internal combustion engine, which took its essentially modern form in the latter half of the 19th century. But it doesn't give a name. We could just blame it on Ford.
Nicholas Otto.
Is that why it's called an automobile?
Possibly. But Nicholas Otto, Etienne Lenore, George Brayton, and Samuel Brown is what Google tells me. I don't think I can trust anyone
named George.
Same. First president, fucking sus.
Truly sus.
Those 4 people, blood on your hands. You caused 9/11.
You caused 9/11. Goddamn. Yeah. It's so wild to think just how different like life would be if one small change had happened.
I know. I
like to think, I genuinely don't believe like so much of my like life and career. I don't think I would have had my current job if my mom's sister didn't marry a rich man. And like
what?
The job I have has nothing to do with any of my family, but my mom's sister married a rich man, and that allowed my dad to have a decently paying job. And because my dad had a decently paying job that forced us to move to Kansas, I came to Kansas, and as a result, now here I am. I made you as a friend. I wouldn't have met you if it weren't for my uncle.
Interesting. Like
that's so wild. That's so wild to think about. Just one small change could have changed everything.
Well, what would have happened if we would have never met? Like, I think that's crazy.
That is crazy. Oh my God. What would have happened? Because you introduced me to a lot of my current friends. I think you introduced me to my roommate, didn't you?
Yeah. No. You knew Liv before. Sorry.
You're right. I did.
We can bleep the name. I don't know if I'm allowed to say her name.
I think she's okay with her name being said, but I'm not sure. I can ask.
Ask and bleep if not. But I think, did I introduce you to her? I don't remember.
I know that you knew her before I did, but I don't know if I think you're right. I think I met her before I met you.
Yeah.
I've known both of you like kind of online, but I actually met her physically first.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I mean, I introduced a lot of people to each other, but like
oh my God. Among Us nights wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, Among Us nights would have never happened.
That's crazy. That's truly wild. Anywho,
a lot would not have happened. Like so much would have just.
It's so fun to see just how much of like our lives can be credited to just random luck, like the complete off chance that 2 people met changes everything. And it's not even like in a married sense. It's just like friends, you know? A friendship changes everything, and that's crazy. That's so cool. Yeah.
The friendship I've had with you has like literally changed my life.
It's same. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, number 6 is the telephone. Whatever. I didn't know how to go from there. We're already at an hour, Trace.
Who cares? Number 6, telephone.
Yeah.
Again, destroyed our mental illness. Steve Jobs, why'd you do this?
Yeah, because Steve Jobs invented the telephone. You're right.
Exactly. Right? That's why we call it the Jobs phone, right?
The Jobs phone. Yeah, you're right. No, he would have named it something. He would have named it something different if the telephone hadn't been invented. If he came up with that technology, it would have been some weird bullshit.
Like what? Apple?
He would have named it the Brayburn.
The Brayburn?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because his first invention was the Macintosh, which is a flavor of a flavor, a type, a genus of apple.
Okay.
But then the Brayburn is also a type of apple.
I thought that was a furry porn artist.
It's also a furry porn artist. Do you not know where Brayburn got his name?
No.
Yeah, Brayburn was originally a pony artist, and there was a pony named Brayburn in My Little Pony. And I think that Brayburn was like Applejack's sister or not, sibling or cousin or something along those lines. So they're. Anywho, I don't know much about pony history. I just know history of Brayburn because I thought it was funny.
No, that's sweet. Go off, King. Yeah. I've only met him once, so like I don't know. I haven't had a conversation with the man.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that he used to be a brony given his current stuff because like he has no indication of it in any way, shape, or form. You're right. That is correct. 100%.
Dad fucking and exhibitionism.
Yeah. I want to get the Ollie Docky at some point in time. I think that character's really cute. I want to get a Docky.
Top 10 Inventions, Ollie Docky.
Ollie Docky, let's go. Let's go.
What's next?
Number 5. Light bulb.
Light bulb?
Light bulb.
Also, I know Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whatever. Light bulb.
It was
the
Steve
invention
Jobs.
of Nikola Tesla.
The invention of Nikola Tesla. Yeah, birth is an invention.
Wait, what? Wait, where did you get? No, I'm saying the light bulb.
You said the invention of Nikola Tesla. That means Tesla was invented.
No. The light bulb is the invention of Nikola Tesla.
Yeah, which is really funny because this article doesn't say that anywhere. This article is still pushing the narrative of Thomas Edison.
Yeah. We're Nikola Tesla truthers over here, okay? Mm-hmm. We get that he dated a pigeon and he invented the light bulb. Some of us, we all have our vices.
Yeah, inventing the light bulb was the vice.
The vice, yeah. One of those is very normal, and one of those is really bad.
I'm so fucking mad that Elon Musk has ruined Tesla's name.
I'm so fucking mad that Elon Musk doesn't date a pigeon.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, with the pipeline he's going down, he might.
I thought you were gonna say honestly, Grimes. I was like, you're right. She is kind of bird-like.
Where is this episode going? Oh, I was not expecting this to happen. Okay, thank you. This is great. This is great. This is perfect. Next up, okay, so
light bulb,
after
fine.
Light bulb is great. I like being able to see, and I wouldn't have.
Yeah, it's good. It's making us soft. Next,
it's making us white.
No, the sun's doing that right now.
You're right. All right. Number 4 is the compass.
The compass?
Yeah,
that's fine. Hey, here's a question. What?
Here's an answer.
Is Dora actually an explorer?
No, she never actually found anything new. She was only following the footsteps of people previous to her. She's like, right. So you know how when in like middle school and high school in science class you would do quote unquote experiments that weren't actually experiments. It was just following a set list of instructions. Yeah, that's what Dora was.
Well, I mean, okay, first of all, those are experiments. Like
those are labs. Those are labs.
No, there is value in repeating an experiment, and it's still an experiment.
There's value in repeating things that have been untested. There's value in repeating things that are new, and especially in psychology, I think repeating experiments and studies is really good. At some point, it stops becoming an experiment and starts becoming a lab. And that's okay. I think those labs do provide value, but unless you're adding something to it, it's not new anymore. You're not learning something new. You're just teaching something that's already been found. You know?
Anyway, it's orienteering is the word you're looking for. Dora's an orienteer.
Shoutouts to Trace for knowing that. I guess.
Orienteer. Well, because like orienteering is like using a map and a compass to quote unquote explore places that have already been explored.
That's true. But what's it called when you stop a fox from swiping things?
It's called swiper, no swiping.
Thank you, Trace. I appreciate it. Side note: Swiper's kind of hot.
What? Okay, we're not getting into this. What?
Okay.
Like, I'm gonna talk about your delusions of Swiper the fox.
Anyway, number 3 is penicillin.
I'm so just okay. Penicillin, go off, penicillin queen. Because penicillin was an accident, right?
Yes, it's one of the most famous discovery stories in history. In 1928, the Scottish scientist Alexander Fleming, shoutouts to that name.
Shout out Fleming.
Noticed a bacteria-filled petri dish in his laboratory with its lid accidentally ajar. The sample had What?
What?
What did you just say?
I said my sink.
Your sink, yeah. It's a petri dish full of bacteria.
Bacteria. Keep going.
The sample had become contaminated with a mold, and everywhere the mold was, the bacteria was dead. The antibiotic mold turned out to be the fungus, penicillium, and over the next 2 decades, chemists purified it and developed the drug penicillin, which fights a huge number of bacterial infections, and also makes it the worst alcoholic drink I've ever had.
What?
So there is a drink. I went on vacation to Alaska, hence the shirt that I know you can't see it, but it says Alaska. When I went on a vacation to Alaska, we got some credits for alcohol. And as someone who doesn't drink very often, I'm like, you know what? Shout out. Yeah, I'll try some drinks. And some of the drinks that were offered were pretty darn good. I got a milkshake that had Bailey's Irish in it, and that was good.
Okay.
But there was also an alcoholic drink that was called penicillin. And it was a mixture of like honey lemon and hard gin. And I thought hard gin, Gin.
I know.
But I'm like, I like honey lemon. I like honey lemon.
Gin is so disgusting.
Yeah, it was nasty. It was really bad. Yeah, let me see if I can find the recipe here. I found it. Yeah, it's 2 ounces of blended scotch, 3/4 ounce lemon juice, 3/4 ounce honey ginger syrup, 1/4 ounce of Islay single malt scotch. I don't know alcohol. And then they garnish it with candied ginger. I don't think this is the recipe that's the one I had.
Okay. I was like, that doesn't have gin in it then. So
yeah,
like,
the recipe I had gin in it.
That sounds delicious. I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
it was the most like bitter thing I'd ever put to my mouth, and I shared it with everyone else I was with at that time who'd also had like a lot more experience with alcohol, and like, this is fucking disgusting. Why did you order this?
Yeah, no, I absolutely hate gin. Like, I hate like that dry, bitter flavor of gin.
It was disgusting.
It's so bad. I don't know why anyone drinks gin. I'm sorry. Like,
I don't know why anyone drinks.
It makes you feel funny.
You're right. Weed does that too, fucker.
Yeah, sure, but also like alcohol's more accessible and not illegal in most places.
Yeah, why is alcohol the legal one? That one's more dangerous than weed.
Because we fought for our rights in Prohibition.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's fucking do that. There are so many safer drugs than alcohol. I can't think of any. The only one I know is weed.
And who knows if weed is even actually that safe? Like, I don't fucking care. I don't think it matters if it's safe or not. I think we should be allowed to do with our bodies as we wish. As long as it doesn't hurt anyone else. All right, libertarian.
Shut the fuck up.
What's number 2, okay?
Number 2 is the printing press. Shout outs to Martin Luther and the 95 Thesis.
Shout out Martin Luther. That's my bro.
Yeah, fuck the Catholic Church, I guess.
But I hate Lutherans.
Why?
I don't know. Like, I really don't. I had a friend who was like very Catholic, and she used to call Lutherans watered down Catholics. And
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
And she did not like them. She like had a vendetta against Lutherans, and I was like, man. The beef is real. It continues to this day.
Fair? Yeah, that is accurate.
Is that like one of their? It's like one of their doctrines that Catholics have to go through. Like one of their daily affirmations is also, "And we hate the Lutherans." Yeah. Like okay, like you. Like you go to confession and they're like, you have to do 50 fuck Lutherans. I think that's fun. I want to have a really beef funny. I want to have a beef that eternal.
Well, Trace, let's start it. Like we mentioned last episode, artificial beef. Let's do it. Let's start some drama.
But also, I guess I should say that my job would not exist without the printing press, so I guess I should be a lot more happy about this.
You should really shoutouts to Johannes Gutenberg.
Yeah, let's go, Johannes Gutenberg.
Shout out, Johannes. Pop off, Queen.
Slay.
I love it.
What's number one?
Number one is the wheel. You should have known this was going to be number
Where's
one.
Where's the cotton gin?
It's not on here. What is the cotton gin if not a large wheel? Tell me, Trace. Tell me.
Thank you all for listening to the podcast.
All right. Yeah.
You know, actually, I do want to say I hate the phrase reinventing the wheel because the wheel's been reinvented throughout history millions of times.
Oh my god, yeah, legitimately, it's crazy. Yeah,
we can continue to improve on things that have existed. Just because something is fine now doesn't mean that there's not a better way to do it.
I'm gonna your microphone was cutting in and out there, and I couldn't hear like half of the words you said. And I don't know if that was your microphone or my headset or Discord. I'm gonna hope that everything's okay. I'm gonna hope that we didn't have any issues when editing this video. Oh, we're gonna find out later.
Well, let's hope that it was just there at the end, if it is an audio issue on my end.
I was gonna say I only heard it at the end, so if it was something, I mean,
is
if
it
it
happening
were any
now,
step in that process. A little bit, not much. It's like I hear every now and then. So let's go ahead and end this video here and hope that let's pray to the Lutheran God.
Let's pray specifically to the Lutheran God.
Yeah,
that everything is fine.
It's the same Jesus and same God as many other Christian denominations, but specifically the Lutheran one.
But a little bit more fond of newspapers. So yeah. Thank you for listening.
Shout outs. Okay, thank y'all. Have a good bye.
Bye.